Hello guys and welcome. We have a game in front of us. It's a game between Telagos and AriatGal. This is round 3 of the winner bracket. My name is Simon aka qzka and I will be your commentator today. Okay, what did we see? I already missed it. Let's maybe rewind it. Maybe we will be able to see what exactly happened. Okay. Roll for AriatGal. What's the number? We don't see. Okay, I'm pretty sure Dominos will put a resume at the end, so let's wait. We see that AriatGal will be the first player, but did he announce himself as a first player, or did Telagos win and announce him as the first player? That's a little bit of a mystery right now. Let's hope that Dominos will put that into the chat so we can also see that. Let's see our video quality so we can see a little bit better. Okay, let's jump right to it. So we see that Tyranids were added as random. We see Eldar being added first. We see Imperial Guard added by AriatGal, then Orcs by Telagos, and Necrons by AriatGal. Pretty interesting, as both of these players have completely different approach. So Telagos is adding the one of the strongest factions to the pool, whereas AriatGal is adding one of the weakest, at least in 1v1 skirmishes. Okay, so we see that AriatGal won the role, and he announced himself to be the first player. Okay, so since that is out of the way, let's maybe change the speed to 1.5. It worked well last time, so I hope it will also work good this time. AriatGal choosing first the orcs, and Telagos choosing Tyranids. Okay, pretty interesting. On paper, of course, orcs are the favorite here, not even taking into account the statistics, but just taking into account the fact that Tyranids have just so little health in total, whereas orcs they are very resilient, they have a lot of health, and also they are good at shooting. So on paper, lots of health and big daka against bugs. I would say orcs are favorite here, but I'm really looking forward to see what both players will present. Let's see. We see the first system being placed by the orcs with two orc boys on them. Pretty standard movement, as orcs have a lot of units, ground units at the beginning. They don't have a ship, that's why they have a lot of ground units, and their orc boys are phenomenal in the early game, as they have 2 dice, 2 HP, and only 1 morale. But in this combat, I doubt that, well, I am sure that the orcs will not go for a morale race against Tyranids, because that would be suicide. Everybody knows that Tyranids win that battle every time. They have lots of ways to generate reinforcement tokens. Each reinforcement token is 3 morale, so this is not the way to go. The way to go is to kill the bugs, because as everybody know, a good bug is a dead bug. Right, so we see the objective already being placed by Telagos on a world with a bastion and a gaunt, so not that easy to take, especially not in the early game. So like two orc boys sent to that battle is a little iffy. It's not enough dice advantage and not enough material to generate bolters from cards like Wa. And definitely, as I said, a morale race is not winnable in that setup. So this should be secure unless unless orcs send something like 3 or 4 orc boys, which is of course very doable, taking into account how easy it is for orcs to generate more boys. They don't really care about knobs that much because first of all they are just so one knob is basically double an orc boy because it has twice as much health and twice as much morale, but he throws the same amount of dice. So and also orc knobs do not activate, I shouldn't say activate, but contribute towards the amount of bolters that are being generated by cards like Wa. I mean, cards like Wa. We know that we are talking about Wa itself directly. So we see the home system for Tyranids being played. Pretty standard, pretty standard. However, still with Orcrox, that factory is in direct danger. Yes, exactly. And what we see right now is a pretty tough position for the Tyranids because with Orcrox, which most probably will be bought the first round, Orcs have right now access from two neighboring systems into the factory. So, of course, one of these paths can be blocked by a warp storm, but the other cannot. However, it can be made difficult for the orcs to breach because Tyranids will be covering the with the last order, so they can build reinforcements here. However, these reinforcements will most probably would need to be uh, gowns only. Like a warrior would be difficult because it would need to be preceded with by a forge token, which do we even have the chance of doing that? Let's have a look. No, not really. Tyranids don't even have access to forge tokens, so definitely first round we will not see any warriors being placed. Okay, we do see some technical difficulties. It happens. It happens to the best of us. So yeah, so Tyranids are in a bit of a pickle right now because they will either need to uh, they will either need to make sure that orcs will not buy orc rocks before they will go, which is of course doable, and this is just a matter of order placement. However, orcs being the second player here, the first player, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Like it will not be that difficult to deny this movement just by covering every other order so that Orcrox cannot be bought and orcs need to reveal the advance order without the Orcrox available at their disposal. Available at their disposal, just at their disposal. I don't want to be a linguistic purist here, but sometimes my ears bleed when I hear my own self talk. and I would like to speak as properly as possible, as proper as possible, as properly as possible. You see, I'm struggling with overthinking my overthinking. Okay, let's maybe focus on the game instead of my linguistic skills. So, okay, we see the map placed already. What do we see? Most probably dominate or strategize for orcs, followed by most probably a strategize by tyrannids, then a build by orcs, I presume. A build, is it built for tyrannids? If it is, it's a little bit risky, because if there will be an attack on the top, they will need to cover with another build, which is a waste of orders. However, of course, tyrannids might be clever enough. They put their something like a dominate or a strategize. Maybe there is the strategize. Who knows? Who knows? Or maybe just they are not anticipating the attack from the orcs, which is a viable threat right now. Let's see, let's see. We see a second order in the home system of orcs. That most probably is dominate. We see an advance from tyrannids. Yes, and we do see an attack from orcs. Tyrannids seem to have been prepared for that, because he didn't even hesitate with the second order in his home system. So what do we see? We see Sea of Green being bought in favor of Gretchen, pretty standard, and of course Orc Rocks. So we do see exactly what what I feared, that in the factory system there will be guns only. How much guns? Let's see. Well, there can only be three of them, because there will be no dominate in front, even if it is. Well, yeah, we see that there will be no cash tokens being acquired by the tyrannids. So, question is, if he right now reveals the build, he can, of course, build another ship and then move forward, blocking the legal path. But he would need to then count on the, I don't want to say stupidity, but he would need to count on a misplay from orcs, not seizing the opportunity and just waiting for a dominate to get more reinforcements. It might, of course, happen. I don't know the play style of neither of the players. I don't know how experienced they are, and of course, mistakes can happen. This is the third round of the tournament. Stress is, of course, a big factor, and slip-ups can occur. However, I don't think that the Tyrannids are underestimating their opponent that much. I think they know for a fact that as soon as they reveal the build order on their home system and build the gaunt's will be under heavy fire, and I mean that will be heavy fire. Oh, sorry, we missed another strategize. What will be that? What will that be? Meganobs in favor of Outboys. Of course, very valuable because it forces the opponent to re-roll all of the shields, most probably to guns, which you don't care about because your orcs are very resilient and they can take the damage. However, more standard approach is Wa here. So we have the aspect of Sea of Green, generating additional reinforcement tokens, meaning additional boys, and Wa then generating more guns, because this is a limitless ability. So the more boys there are, the more guns we will get. And it can get to some really ridiculous numbers. However, I think it's a good play by orcs because you don't really need that much firepower against Tyranids. What you need at the beginning is a little bit of security and also formidable firepower, which Meganobs provide because they provide two flat shields and the ability to reroll the opponent's shields. So this is 2-in-1, and I do really think that this is a good this is the way. Okay, will we see a disaster for Tyranids in the first round? I'm hoping not, because it will put orcs in a very, very favorable position. I think the guys are in voice chat discussing exactly what is going to happen. Might be that the Tyrannid did not realize what's going to happen. Because if the other system, other worlds from Tyranids be somehow favorable in like a development place, then all would be fine. But oh my god, oh my god, the balls. That's why we love the game. Boy, was that risky. So he knew all along that he cannot prevent orcs from taking the factory. So he said, my way or the highway. He said, I will go there and I will bombard with one ship, counting on two bolters. Man, was that ballsy? Was that ballsy or what? But then again, what other choice did he have? Really? He had no other chance. Okay, this is starting to be very entertaining. Now he doesn't need to secure the void because the legal path is broken for the orcs, and he has a easy to grab objective. Man, what a move! I would never expect that to work. Of course, I would expect an attempt, but the fact that the attempt was fruitful, pretty amazing. Okay, so we are going to the next round. Are we going to the next round? Why do orcs draw 4? Okay, the deploy was also discarded in favor of more event cards. What do we have here? I think it's mob up. Yes, mob up. One of the more powerful schemes in the whole game, providing you an option to make an advance preemptively without any order used. So it doesn't matter if you top the opponent or not. As long as you have 2 units in a system, you can perform an advance in that system. Of course, if you have some units in the neighboring system, you can also take them into the party. Okay, so what do we see now? We see a big chance for the orcs to do the following. He can save the last order to top in his home system with a build. That would provide him with enough firepower to take the Bastion world that is neighboring him. He can allow the Tyranids to have a top there because there is no real way for him to reinforce, not with the hive ship being that away, and also the hive ship, if it goes into the void of the orc's home system, it's not that big of a deal because we do have Orc Rocks, and he can, from that position, from that Bastion world, move to the middle left, taking looking from this perspective, middle left system, making his position pretty strong there. However, he could take a different route and top the Tyranids in their home system. So what they planned to do last round, he can do this round. It will be even easier now because there is only one gun and there will not be more. Well, there might be one more if he uses the scheme, but still, it's only two gowns. It will be pretty easy to breach. And from that point, Tyranids will not have any chance of developing in their home system, and using mob up together with Orc Rocks, he can get the other objective. Then again, there will be, if Tyrannus uses the scheme, there will be two gowns, but this will be again two gowns against two boys. So it all depends on whether something will die slash be routed in the first combat. So this is a given. This he can just take here and now. Forget about his home system because in his home system not much can happen really because he might lose a factory by a double movement from the Tyranids, okay, but he will most probably not lose the lose his objective. There is a orc boy there, pretty resilient, and one gaunt against one orc boy. Of course, it can happen, but I would say it's about a 60-40. But taking into account how big of a risk the Tyranids already took in that game, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so we do see the scheme being already used, and we see reinforcement on two fronts. So he splits fire. So he assumes that he will. He needs to play risky here. He needs to play risky, that's for sure, and that's why he's counting on surviving the combat in his home system and also taking an objective, which will equalize pretty much the whole game. So let's see. Let's see. First combat. Okay, with two guns and a reinforcement, this is very winnable. This is very winnable. That's for sure. However, okay, Tyranids don't even take the risk. They stay. Okay. I assume he was afraid of a counterattack because he knew that underneath there's another order. Most probably, if he would won, there would be like one gaunt standing there, maybe even routed. So, but as we see, there was no counterattack on the bottom. So, of course, I'm pretty sure that the Tyranids right now are regretting not attacking because now they are under attack themselves. Uh, yeah, interesting choice. Interesting that he decided to send two boys there. I'm wondering what is his plan for that because next round next round he could be as well attacked as he did as he was last. I mean, he will be threatened. He could be threatened with another attack. Okay, so we do see that the orcs prioritize money instead of objectives. He could have taken the objective, making the same maneuver he did right now, but in the home system of Tyranids, which would give him, of course, less money, but it would be only 2 material less, but one objective more. And in this situation, he will not gain any objectives. But if you want to go for the long game, of course, that's the way to go. Funny enough, he doesn't use a reinforcement. He's very confident of himself. I don't think if he's not being overconfident, because we all know what suicide tactics Tyranids have. And he is taking bolters. Okay, so we already see one unit dead. And if another card will be Termagant Brutes, that would be a dead orc, unless orc plays another Sea of Green right now. Then he would route the unit, and a routed unit cannot be turned into guns. So let's see. Let's see. I'm pretty curious, but I have a feeling that the orcs will regret not putting. Okay, he will not regret. Okay, he knew what he was doing. Okay, good. Well played. Well played. Very, very optimized. Of course, the decision to place a reinforcement is being taken after we draw the cards, so easily he knew what was going to happen, even if Tyranids would use a reinforcement, which they did. We see that there is some post battle discussions. Maybe we can fast forward a little bit. I would love to hear their analysis too, but we don't have that. Instead, you have my analysis, which I hope you enjoy. Oh, what a roll! What a roll for the orcs! Oh, no brainer that no surprise that he's bringing 2 reinforcement to this combat. And Tyranids are saying the same. They will try to win this combat no matter what. Let's see if it will be possible. We don't see a Sea of Green, obviously, because we want to see the morale dice being rerolled. Okay, that's a pretty good reroll. Of course, better would be more guns would be much better, because right now we are in a morale race, which you never want to be in when you are playing against Tyranids. However, of course, 2 of the morale being converted to something different is already a good outcome, a good result. What will be the next card? Will it be Sea of Green? Yes, it is Sea of Green. So we do see a 4 morale shift due to +1 for orcs and -3 for Tyranids. Interestingly enough, Tyranids did not route the plastic unit, but the paper unit. That's a little bit unusual, because usually, by a rule of thumb, you route the plastic units first, so that if next round there is some heavy shooting going on, and that's definitely something that can happen, you want to first kill the paper reinforcements instead of your plastic units. However, he knows that if he's losing this battle, it doesn't matter, because the plastic doesn't have anywhere to retreat. Or does it? No, he does. He can retreat to the world with his objective, actually. So Okay, I'm back to my first wonder. Why does he route reinforcements instead of plastic units? But maybe there is something I don't know. Maybe there is some hidden agenda. Okay, what will be the last card for the for both players? We see Tyranids already chosen. Meganobs. Okay, we do count on these fields being changed into something else, and we get it. So that's -2 defense. That's already big. We see 3 damage being taken, and we see heavy bolters from the Tyrannies as well. But that doesn't matter because orcs have plenty of reinforcements. So yeah, and you see now exactly what I mentioned. Had he routed the plastic unit instead, now one plastic unit would have survived and it would have retreated to the objective, to the Tyrannid objective, which would be a great outcome, provided how tough of a situation the Tyrannids were in. Now instead he gets nothing. Such a small detail, such a big mm, difference. We also see right now that the Tyrannids were optimistic enough to think that they will be able to build in that system. So he wasted one order also. Okay, looking pretty rough for the Tyrannids right now. Let's see what the events will bring. But he's not giving up yet. He's not giving up yet. Definitely not. He's building a bastion, which will be. No, he doesn't. Okay. So he was. Oh, a factory. Okay. Okay. Makes more sense if you really want to defend your home and you want to fight back. We do see, however, only 3 material for the Tyranids gained this round, so rough, rough, rough. However, he did not build last round, so in total he does have 10 material plus 2 cash. So, interestingly so, he has more than the orcs. Orcs were first in the first round, so they will be also first this round because this is the third round. Okay. We just don't see the first player token being passed, which in my opinion is very correct because the first player stays the first player until the end of the event phase. Most of the times it doesn't matter, but just to, let's say, follow the rules correctly, the first player turn or the first player token should be passed only after both of the events were resolved. Okay, he doesn't want to, the Tyrannids don't want to block themselves out. So obviously he did not move the warp storm as he planned as he showed at the beginning, counting on the fact that the orcs also will not be able to close this legal path, and this legal path is not being closed. Okay, so this factory, in fact, no pun intended, uh, was very useful right now because he will build 2 ships to secure the void and make the objective more or less untakeable for the orcs. Now it will be very tough to get there. First of all, I would like to take back what I was saying. So the deploy at the bottom from Tyranids was most probably not due to the fact that he hoped to reinforce there, but exactly for that in case he loses, he can build a factory, and he knew that he will have lots of residual money from the rest from the previous round. So this definitely makes sense because he can now take back this world, which will be very useful for him. And but furthermore and foremost, he will deny orcs from taking the objective right now. So that's why I said I think I was sure that the orcs will use MOBAP to take the objective in the Tyrannid home system, because the three material planet they could taken this round and last round secure the objective. Now it's a little bit too late, and it just shows how the cookie crumbles. And he now has lots of money, yeah, sure, but his objective just got way further from him than it was last round. Of course, in terms of uh, entertainment, this is very good for us because this makes for a longer and more interesting game. However, yeah, I know that this is all in hindsight, but this was clearly visible that this was a valid option last round, because that was also something that I pointed. Reinforce from the orcs perspective. Reinforce in the home system. Leave the units there so you are secure against the attack from Tyrannids. Attack the world with Bastion, with something like 4 or even 5 boys and some reinforcements. Maybe Wa even bought in the meantime. Could be very doable. Secure the objective in the Tyrannid system last round and take the second objective this round, and that would be game. However, yes, I do realize this is all in hindsight, and it is very easy for me to judge in hindsight. So, but I'm wondering whether orcs are regretting their decision making now, or did they knew that this is what they want. Maybe he feels more comfortable in such a game, a long-term game, where he has all of the areas with most of the material, and he can develop and he can just push forward like a hammer. But the problem right now is that the hive ship is still there. Of course, the Tyranids are far from being able to buy mesetic spores. I think it's mesetic spores. No, breeding chambers. Breeding chambers. Mesetic spores is the orbital strike upgrade. However, for lucky for Tyranids, he got the scheme that allows him to increase his command level for each hive ship he has. So he can, in fact, buy breeding chambers this round, and he could build some nasty units in the other end of the galaxy. Okay, what do we see? We see an advance, most probably, from orcs in the top right, most probably to take the maybe that's an attack, and then on top he plans to make a dominate to build another unit. Might be the plan, because the one orc clearly cannot really wish for surviving a counter attack from Tyranids. But he did place that order first, so no matter what, he will be facing only one warrior standing on that planet. However, one warrior against one orc boy is pretty tough. Is pretty tough. if there will be a dominate on top, so two boys against one warrior, that's a completely different story. They are discussing something. No, they are sorry. They are already resolving the orders. I've slept a little bit on that. So we do see the ships being built, of course, to secure the voids. We do see also deploy from orcs with a ship to secure the void as well, and an additional orc boy. I guess just to gain the money, because this is definitely not to reinforce. Interestingly, so there is no attack from Tyranids on the home system of orcs. Understandably so, because if he did not attack last round, why should he attack this round? Taking into account that this is the same premise, so even if he takes the objective, he will be fought back because there is an order on bottom of the stack, which can be an advance. Can also be something else, as it was in round one. But whoa, 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 what's going on? Wait a second, this is illegal. So Tyranids were not aware that you cannot move from two neighboring systems, or he just got caught up with his in his mind. It happens to the best of us. No, I'm pretty sure it was just a brain fart from Tyranids' side. Telagos is a pretty experienced player, so he definitely knows the rules. It's just that the planning and overthinking can get in front of you, and you can get in front of yourself often, and yeah, you forget about basic rules. Okay, Tyranids this round gain. Oh, what's sorry for reversing, but I'm curious. What was the orc order in the top right? What was that? Ah, strategize. Okay, of course, of course. And he bought the green tide. Okay, okay, understandably so. Okay, sorry for that. Let's get back to our current situation. So pretty slow for both of the players. No objectives yet taken. I'm wondering why the Tyranids did not at least attempt to take their objectives in the top right. But as I said before, decisions, and each player has a different play style and a different mindset. It looks like he wants to take it slow, to build back what is to take back what is his, and then build on that ground to develop and show the true strength of the Tyrannid fleet. And But we see that the orcs are also developing, and there is one city already in their possession. There most probably will be another one, which means party wagons and party wagon carts. That will be pretty rough for Tyranids, even if they develop themselves and have strong cards. Because both Rocket Wagon and Party Wagon pretty strong cards. So let's see. Okay, we see that Tyranids want to secure the objective now. Okay, so understandably so, of course, he could have just thought, forget about the objective last round, focus on it next round, because next round I'm the first player. I can put the order there first, securing the objective, because the orcs cannot really do anything about it. He could try, of course, to right now make a movement there and a deploy, to have there a unit and a bastion. Of course, he can, but still, one unit and bastion is pretty breachable for the Tyranids, provided that they will be able to reinforce in their home system. So yeah, I think this is a better call. Why waste an order and risk last round if you can make it secure this round? And maybe now focus on something else. So I'm pretty sure he is planning either to build units with his hive ship in the middle left system, and from there reinforce the bastion, or he is thinking about moving the ship and building the units directly on the bastion. It all depends on what the orc will do. The orc for now, as we see, only placed one order, and that's most probably strategize, which he will want to do after he builds a city in his home system. That I assume would be the plan. We do see an order in the middle left, which might be a deploy, as we said, because most probably the orcs. Well, this is tricky because orcs have many reasons to go into that system. Because he might want either to retreat his units, not to lose them. Yes, exactly, we see that from the factory world, or move the units from the bottom left system to utilize them, because at the moment they are just standing there, not doing much, and they could be put to good use. Okay, but we see that the Tyra needs cover, but we see the orcs cover back. Okay, yeah, that's also something I would expect to happen. So, but then again, if he would put a movement and deploy on the bottom, on the middle right system, most probably he would bait orcs into going in that system to get the objective. So it's you can't have everything in this game. It's either this or that. Okay, what will we see being deployed by the Tyranids? We see one Gaunt. How much cash does he have? He has 6 material, I guess. He didn't spend anything yet. No, so he did spend already. So he bought only one Gaunt. Interesting. Interesting. What did the orcs do in the meantime? Why didn't they go before they got ambushed? Let's rewind a little bit. I might have missed that. Okay, sorry. So this was not a deploy. So sorry again, my fault. I don't see clearly what's on the table. So Tyranids again got the scheme that gives them 2 additional gaunts. So the first gaunt goes to the factory system, and the second gaunt goes to the interestingly so to the middle left system. In my opinion, he could have reinforced the orc objective, because he has, of course, another way of doing that by breeding chambers. But why wait when he can reinforce already now? And this additional gaunt on that world is making the worlds different. So let's see. Okay, of course, Tyranids being the favorite in this combat. However, it is very possible that they will lose some units, might even be all of the units. However, Tyranids threw 3 shields, which is pretty nice for them. A very well-rounded throw. Of course, an additional shield or bolter instead of that morale die would be perfect. For orcs, also very useful throw, both bolters and shields. Let's see what will be the cards. Okay, we already see heavy guns from Termagant Brute. We do see shield reroll. Okay, it might become rough for the Tyranids. They already are taking 1 damage. Most probably he will route the warrior to leave as many HP on the battle as possible. We see that the orcs did not buy Wa, so the amount of damage that they can produce is limited. It's calculatable. However, yeah, for the fact that 1 unit was routed, the Tyranids get 1 shield, but this is only 1 shield, and let's see if they will get some more. What other options do they have? Let's have a quick look on their development. So they bought Termagant Brutes, and they also bought the card that gives material for killing. I don't remember the name for it. So they don't have too many defensive options. They do have the card that gives them 1 permanent shield and 2 temporary shields if they are attacking, which they are right now. But so this would be +3, which would be enough, because for the orcs they can provide, of course, more, because Shuta boys give 2 flat and potential for many more by re-rolling the dice. But it's no problem for the orcs to re-roll the shields, because they have a lot of reinforcements which can soak up the damage. We see, okay, an additional shield for the Tyranids, pretty nice. And we do see Shuta. Okay, let's see what will be the roll. Very good roll for the orcs. Let's see the roll for Tyranids. Drum roll, anticipation. Okay, 1 shield still remains. Not bad, not bad. That means that of course means that 3 Gaunts will die. But still we have 2 HP on the battlefield. But yeah, okay, let's have a look right now on the damage count. So we do know for a fact that the Tyranids will not survive this combat. Unfortunately, they can provide only 3 shields at most, and we all know that providing 1 additional damage for the orcs is no biggie. More or less each card they have provide that. So yeah, this is a 100% guarantee. Yeah, yeah. Exactly so. Rough, rough. Well played, very well played by the orcs. Uh, and you see, so what we do see here is that the Tyranids with the first card, they decided to place to get the 3 bolters instead of the reinforcement. So this reinforcement would be the additional HP that he would have in this battle. Of course, much less orcs would be routed right now, if any, and then the morale could have been an issue. But if the reinforcement was here right now, the situation would be the same, just there would be 1 HP more. So 2 damage would go into the Okay, but the damage would need to go first to the reinforcement, so we would have only one morale right now. And for the orcs, most probably there would be like one or two morale, because most probably two units would be still standing. Yeah, okay. So this definitely wasn't a easy call to make. Whether it was wrong or right, it all depends. So there is no wrong or right call here. Yeah, just that's what can happen in this game. The roll was very good for the orcs. The roll for Tyranids also wasn't bad, but it was slightly worse. And this is the result that we see. So he spent a ton of resources to build this army. This whole army is right now gone, and this is slowing him down quite significantly, because he will not be able to take the objective with the other advance order, because he doesn't have anything to take it with. Rough, rough, rough. We see a strategize from orcs. We don't see the second city, so we only see again CL0 cards being bought. In my opinion, a little bit of waste of material. If you decided to go for Meganopes instead of Wa, you could very well stick to that and try to use that material to get more offensive cards like Rocket Wagon and Party Wagon, taking into account that he did had the material for that. But we see that he's not interested in the second city. He's interested in, okay, he is interested in the second city. Okay, so that's 2 for 7, 1 material remaining. Oh, ballsy city, just in front of the Tyranids, like in your face. What you gonna do about it? I'm about to build a city right here, right now. I am not afraid of you. Ballsy move, ballsy move. Maybe it's like assert dominance type of move. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we do see movement, and we see an orbital strike on the Gaunt. Yeah, pretty rough, pretty rough. We have some breeding chambers action on the planet with two material. If anything, of course, at least for taking the material back to earn next round. Oh, but there is on a counter attack. Ooh, rough, 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 rough. Again, again, 3 morale being thrown by the orcs, but this combat, 2 boys against 2 gowns, I don't really see a way for the Tyranids to win this. Taking into account that the orcs have a reinforcement token with them. So even if they don't have uh, Slugga Boys. They do have Sea of Green then for sure, and that's an additional reinforcement, which is 2 health in end effect. So yeah, we see heavy shooting from the Tyranids, but it just the reinforcement just soaked up all of the damage. Another one. They don't need to route. Wait! They don't need to route. Why did they route? Oh! Somebody is not paying attention to what is happening. They don't need to route. They have the same amount of unrouted units. and the ability activates only if you have more. Okay, let's see if it will affect the end result. Oh my, oh my. We do see wa, so a lot of okay, so it did not make any difference, fortunately, but it could have made a difference. So guys, pay attention to these details. The Gauns are retreating to a very nice spot where they will be put to good use. It will be much more difficult for the orcs to breach that system right now. However, still, we are going into round 4 shortly, and we don't have a single objective being taken by both of the players. Extraordinary, I would say. Provided how close both of the factions have to their objectives, at least one of them. Okay, we see Gitsem for the orcs. That is a card that allows orcs to destroy one unit that takes damage during the assess damage step. And we see the card for Tyranids. I don't remember the name, but this is the card, looking on the graphic, that allows them to put a free bastion instead of revealing an order. Or maybe before revealing an order, I am not entirely sure. Might be before revealing an order, not instead. However, they don't. It needs to be on a world that doesn't have any other structure, or can it have? Maybe it doesn't need to have another bastion, because that's definitely illegal to have two bastions on one world. I am not entirely sure. I think this is before revealing an order, place a bastion on a world doesn't containing a bastion. I think that's the wording of the card. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we finally see movement from orcs into the objective area. However, now it will be tough to breach because he didn't develop enough. He will need to buy some party wagons and some party wagon cards to make it work. If he is forced to just go like this into the combat, he will most probably not win, because this is only 3 boys. With the cards he has, I don't see it coming through, because it will be 6 dice against 6 dice. It will be enough defense from the Tyranids to withstand, because they have the bastion there, and yeah, and from that position, if they defend, then they can attack a routed units on the objective world in the orcs home system. Let's see. And the orcs can be easily forced into attacking preemptively, because the last order from Tyranids can cover whatever is in the orcs home system. And we already see how many? 3 orders being placed from the orcs, so there will be only one last order. He's thinking about putting a deploy in his home system, but he knows for a fact that it will be covered by an advance from Tyranids. He knows that for a fact. So he will not be able to make any additional units. He will need to go with these 3 or 4 orcs, because he can take the fourth one, of course, also into that combat. And what do we see? Okay, we see a top up on the middle left. Wondering what for. Maybe a dominate, but there will be no, the dominate ability will not be used here, because the unit cannot be placed anywhere. Maybe that's a build. Maybe that's a bastion slash factory slash city. It can be anything. Maybe it's just a strategize. I think it's a strategize. Okay, and a top up here. It's a build. Interestingly so. Okay, so not attacking with the four guns is very understandable. It would be very tough to attack it when the units are not routed. It would be viable only if the units got routed first. Okay, we see a strategize. What is he buying? Is he going for weird boys? Oh my, would that be something? Now he's going for the rocket wagon. Rocket wagon, very good card, but he needs the party wagon. Without it, it's just a card with three bolters. He already has that resources in his disposal. His cards can easily generate three bolters. Of course, uh, not no. That's okay, because that's another build. Okay, cool. So that was his thinking. Okay, double build. Interesting. Okay, but now, yes, definitely with the party wagon and but he will not be able to send all three of them, because Orc Rocks are limited only to two units. So he will send only one party wagon and one Orc Boy there. I'm wondering if he's aware of that. Or risky. No, sorry. He will move the ship first, so then the party wagon will go through Orc Rocks, through an uncontrolled void, and then the rest of the units will go directly. Okay. My bad. Okay. So, of course, he's sending all three of these units into this combat. And with Rocket Wagon, yeah, this will be carnage. This will be carnage. I'm wondering what really would be better here, to have the party wagon card or the rocket wagon card. Hard to say, because it all depends on the roll. We see pretty symmetric rolls on both sides. What's the reinforcement state? How many? So orcs don't have reinforcements at all. Do Tyranids have? No, Tyranids also don't have. Okay, we see Rocket Wagon just right now, straight out of the gates. No bullshit. Bring in the pain. Bring in the pain. That's already 8 damage for the Tyranids. What will they do? Of course, they will counterattack. Oh my. Okay, but this is 2 damage into the Orc Boy and 4 into the wagon. The wagon is pretty resilient. And we see 7 damage, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a wipeout. That's a total wipeout. So the Rocket Wagon definitely was a good call. It was a good call to play it right here, right now. Very well played by the Orcs. I think the Tyranids got caught off guard. We see, what do we see? What was the remainings? We see a deploy from Tyranids, but nothing being bought as there is no money for it. Correct? Correct. Okay, so both players gathering one objective. Uh, However, planet-wise and unit-wise and position-wise, the situation looks much better for the orcs. So even if they will not go for the final objective, which will be tough, of course, because the orcish fleet is pretty weak. and it will be difficult for them to breach inside of the Tyrannid factory. But even without it, they can just secure all of the other worlds and win the game by world advantage. I don't even think they should put the effort of getting aerial superiority. They should just take the remaining worlds and sit on their butts until the end of the game, and that's game for orcs. But we see that we do see that Tyranids are not giving up. Uh, they will be defending. There will be fighting like a lion. Let's see how fruitful this defense will be. What are the options here? Let's have a look. What they can do, they can go exactly to this system which they put the order on, build some units there. Maybe something like what could they do? Like an attack, deploy attack. So first or deploy and then double attack, depending of course on what the orcs will do. But this is of course all of it are just guerrilla tactics, some Rambo stuff, because on paper it will be very difficult for the Tyranids to win from this position. So I am taking into account some MacGyver type strategies and plays. We do see, we do also see that the Tyranids got the scheme to build to place 2 free gowns on 2 separate worlds, very useful in their position. I'm wondering if the orcs will try to win the aerial battles with a kill cruiser. Of course, very doable. Just question is if he has the chance to get a forge token, and the answer is already no. He doesn't have a chance to do it. He would need to first move and then dominate. We all know how this ends. It often ends poorly, because your opponent is most probably not a fool, and he will try to jeopardize your plans as soon as he sees what you are scheming. We see a second order in the middle left being topped by an orcish order, and I think that's all orders placed. No, yes, okay, so 2 orders from the Tyranids are in the middle left system, and 2 of them are on the left, right, and left bottom, respectively. And for the orcs, we see also 2 orders, exactly the same. We see exactly the same distribution of orders. First one is a deploy, but what for? What is he planning to deploy? Units, obviously, but there can only be 2. And a third city, so he has some hunger for some violence. He's craving violence. He's looking forward to buy the Gargant card, which is which is a very powerful card. Even without the Gargant to activate the ability, just the sheer force of 4 permanent bolters and 1 shield, pretty tough to stop. We already see it being bought in favor of Shoota Boys. Shoota Boys, in my opinion, is a card that you should keep until the end of the game. Very useful. Unless you have Mega Boys, because then if you have Mega Boys, of course you have the ability to reroll your opponent's shields. So yes, then considerably you could drop Shoota Boys from your deck. It was okay, so we do see the void combat, but there are no reinforcements from both of the players. Stat wise, pretty similar. However, the orcish ship has 3 HP. We also see Sea of Green, which jeopardizes any plans from the Tyranids. And most probably we will see the Gargant card right now, which will reap havoc. Of course it is. Of course it is. So the ability is not there, but the sheer Daka is definitely there. But we see the Tyranids holding fast. They are holding fast. They have 4 HP on their side, so they might not win the combat, but they might survive. Is it possible? No, not after this. Not after this card again. Okay, okay. So there was an attempt to survive. However, we do see also an order from Tyranids to their home system. Is it an attack? If yes, then there will be. It is not. If it was was it an attack? He could counterattack the ship, which, from in hindsight, makes the Orcish move pretty ballsy, because he basically had to assume that on the bottom there is no attack. We do, however, have an attack now. What will it be used for? Definitely, at least for, yes, exactly, for moving the hive ship and for a little bombardment. Okay, okay, yeah, there is a chance that the unit dies. And he does! Very well played, very well played. The Tyranids are doing whatever they can to stay in this combat, to stay in this game. By the way, by clicking end game after an orbital strike, you neatly organize the dice that were used. Fun fact. Save it for later. I see not all of the players know that. Okay, so we do get to the next round. It is 7th round already. Okay, so definitely this is game. However, what about the round marker? Something wrong there? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. So of course you do have the right to stay until the very end, even if you see that most probably you lost the game. You still stay. You have that right, of course. However, I think the orcs do realize, the Tyranids do realize right at this moment that the game is lost, and they just want to have some fun, and they don't want to give the win to the orcs so easily. They want to make them work for it. Will they work faster for it? Let's see. Let's see. It will be difficult for sure to take the objective right now, because the Tyranids are the second player, so they will secure a deploy in their home system, unless, if I see correctly, the orcs have a mob up. Do they have a mob up? Let's rewind a little bit. They had Gitsem. They threw away, or how do we guess here? Yeah, this is mob up. Oh, okay, 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 okay. So what do the Tyranids have? What options do they have to fight back? Not many, to be honest. Not many. None, I shall even say, because they don't have space for building units. But okay, hear me out. So most probably, if the orders are being placed correctly, the orcs will need to use the mobap and move the 2 units from the factory system, leaving the factory unarmed, which then can be taken by this little gaunt that is standing in the bastion world. And following that, there might be a deploy and a move. So we do see that on the very bottom there is a order from the Tyranids. Very probably that's an advance, and the Tyranids are counting on something like advance, deploy, advance. So first advance will be to take the factory, and the second advance will be to fight back to fight back on the objective world. However, that means that the what is going on here? Why is orc? Because I want all of this digression was that it is possible if the orcs would not reinforce by building in the neighboring system, but they nevertheless don't do that. Interestingly so. 3 units. Where did he get the third unit from? Ah, okay. Yeah. Sure. But he is leaving the factory unarmed. Why would he do so? He had a chance. He had secured a deploy first, so then he could at the same time attack the world and leave some units in there, in the factory. So pretty risky. Maybe he knows already that the game is the game is over, and he just wants to. Okay, he routed a unit. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe he knows that he already won, and he just wants to have some fun. For us, of course, it's a good thing because it means more entertainment. According to the rules, you need to show what that was to your opponent if you are withdrawing an order. Okay, so what I think happened is the Tyranids did not take into account the mobap card, and he was thinking he will reinforce in that world. So that's why it turned out as it turned out, and that's also why the orcs uh, did not reinforce first before attacking. Okay, good game, well played. Let's maybe fast forward through these combats because they don't matter at all to the game. It's even a sudden death for the Tyranids. Ooh, not so sudden. Okay, what will be the last card? Rocket Wagon. Okay, yeah. So interestingly, so the orcs are not the Tyranids are not giving up the game, even though it was visible even like 2 rounds ago that most probably they would lose. Uh, will we see a resolution of the remaining orders? Yes, we will. I don't know what for, but I want to honor the. Why did you kill the ship? Routed unit engaged in combat is destroyed. Yes, but I think it just doesn't matter what happens. Yes, it doesn't matter either way. That's true. So we do see that the Telagos is not a player that gives up. He will be trying to do anything if there is even a slightest chance. Okay, GG, AriatGal, very nice game, very well played. He showed some tough love to the Tyranids. The Tyranids had some moments where it was possible for them to rebirth and take back what was theirs. Yeah, cool game. Very glad I watched it. I hope you also enjoyed my commentary. Again, congrats to AriatGal. Wish you all the best in the next round. Also, well played, Telagos. I think that means that he's going to the losers bracket. So also wish you all the best in the next combat, in the next game. And that would be all. So thank you very much, guys. Have a nice evening, day, or morning, which whenever, depending on when you are watching this stream. And hope you have a good one. My name is Simon, aka qzka, and hear you next time.